Goldylocks Productions provides professional internet, TV, and radio shows in the spiritual and New Age genre.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Spiritual Insight Show. I apologize. There was a little bit of a delay in trying to get live this evening. So I apologize for that. But here we are, live, finally. So welcome, everyone. There's not going to be a call-in this evening. So we're just going to have the show here on Facebook Live. All right, so just welcome everyone, and hope some of you do come back to the show. Some of we're looking for what was happening. So I had it all scheduled and ready to go, and somehow it just never switched to live. So it's all right. These things happen. But welcome everyone, and thank you so much for watching and for taking time out of your schedule to sit in sacred circle with each and every one of us this evening. Whether you're watching it live or in the archives, thank you so much for participating and bringing your energy to the sacred circle. So if you're going to watch live, please, I encourage you to share. If you would share this video, if you would like to do so, and leave comments. This is very much interactive. I would like for some feedback and just to have this be interactive. So thank you everyone again for joining in. And the energies lately, I know we talk about that each show. It's like, wow, it's just the norm. It's just what's going on right now. But I would like to start with the crystal message for the week, and it's lapis lazuli, which is no surprise. It's a beautiful, like cobalt blue, not to be confused with sodalite, because there is a difference between lapis and sodalite. But lapis is a powerful mystical stone, and it provides clarity and insight into your destiny. All right. So if you have a piece of lapis, sit with it and see how that feels, that type of energy. If you have it in jewelry, you can wear it. I love meditating or just working with lapis, whether it's in meditation or healing. And the thing, though, is that I've had it in jewelry before as a necklace. And as a necklace, I can't wear it too long, because then it's just a very powerful stone for me that it gets overwhelming. And have you ever experienced that with any of your crystals or gemstones? Ever experienced how overwhelming it can be after wearing it for a while? Maybe not so much as a ring or a bracelet, or maybe so, but I find it gets really overwhelming if it's in a necklace. So I have to be very careful with that, of what I put around my neck, and what I wear. So, all right. I hope the feed is coming through pretty good. It looks a little choppy, but we'll just keep going. All right. So the spirit animal for this week is the turtle. The turtle, very, very, very profound. When I was like, wow, that is so perfect. And the turtle represents a connection with Earth, navigation skills, patience, tenacity, developing and planting and manifesting new ideas. And doesn't this seem to go hand in hand with everything that's going on right now? And let's just talk about, okay, there's natural disasters that happen on a daily basis, but we only seem to be affected by those that are in the United States or really close to home to us, right? Now, we really are affected, though, on a very higher vibrational term, so to speak, by whatever happens all around the world. And so that's the turtle, is like the connection with earth. Whatever happens in the other part of the world, many of us empaths and sensitives, and we can feel it, we can know it, know what's going on. And quite honestly, it's nothing new. This is all through history of things that have been going on, and we've been feeling it, right? So we just have to move on from that by trying to be as balanced as we can. So, welcome. I see people are joining in. Thank you. Thanks for finding the show, because we had some difficulty in the beginning. So, thank you for joining in. But I will type in here too, for those that are missing, the crystal and gemstone for the week is lapis. So, because I want you to everyone to know that, so they can look it up. And so they can look it up and see kind of, what the connection is with that too, with them. If you like it, you don't, whatever. Maybe it's something new for you. And the spirit animal of the week is the turtle. So profound, so beautiful. And wish Facebook would stop trying to automatically tag. You type something and it wants to tag it for you. No, I don't want to tag anybody by mistake. But turtle, beautiful turtle, the connection to the earth. That is very important. We all really need to be connected at this time. We really do. It's very important for us to be connected to the earth, to be connected to one another, and to really know what we're here for more than ever. And you don't have to specifically know, oh, this is why I'm here, this is my job, this is my title. No. That's just humanizing who we are on a divine spiritual level. All right? So, let's just take, for example, what has happened in the last 48 hours, like say with Texas, what has happened with the hurricane that has come through and has really did slam hard into southern Texas. Now, I have family that's there in Texas and all over Texas, from San Antonio to Austin, to, so I have them into more remote places too. If I would say to them, you'd be like, what's that? Where's that? But the point I'm trying to make here is that we all are, whether you have family there or not, we all can feel when something's happening. And especially, like I said, in the United States. And it's funny, the power animal of the turtle, the tenacity. When we are hit with a disaster, look how people come together and really try to help one another. All right. And sure, there's always going to be, and I'm finding this on some of the social networks, and it's just kind of like, oh, come on. All right, that's fine. You want to make comments like that. There are going to be people who are going to try to take advantage of any situation, including disaster relief, or, oh, hey, give money here, and then it's not an actual organization. So we do have to be careful, and all right. There's people that it's just, if we haven't gotten used to it by now, and I know it's terrible, we never have to, let me say that's probably the wrong word, used to it. We know it's there, we know it exists. It's changing, it's shifting. We don't have to be used to it anymore. And my sister and I had a really good conversation today. We made sure everybody in Texas was fine and was okay. There was a little bit of property damage, a little bit of material things that can be replaced and can be fixed. The most important thing is that everyone physically was fine and alive and well in the family. I know that there are some that maybe weren't, that wasn't the outcome. And so what can we do to help people like that? And that was, my sister's very open and very sensitive too. And she was very empathic. And here's the thing about we have to be careful with, is you feel this in layers. So, and I told her, I was like, do not watch the TV, do not watch the news, do not watch the news on your social feeds either. People's going to post pictures, the devastation, and if you can handle those pictures, that's fine. If you can't, scroll through quickly. Don't take the time and watch them. But just doesn't some of us have this desire to, I want to be in the know on an earth level. I want to feel what they're feeling. I want to experience it. I want to experience this. And most of it, I want to feel the pain. I want to feel what they're feeling. I want to feel what they're feeling. And sometimes we get too close. It's like getting too close to the fire, isn't it? It's like, oh my gosh, no. And we could get burned. So what I mean by that is that when we get so caught up into whether it's the video and the feeling and everyone's emotions, we get caught up in that. And what happens when we get caught up in that? Sure, we're having that bond, we're having that experience, or we're feeling their pain, we're feeling it. And the thing though is that don't let it saturate your aura. Don't let it saturate your energy and overtake you. Don't let it depress you. Definitely don't hold on to it longer than oh my goodness, longer than a couple of minutes, longer than an hour. I would be concerned if it was more than a day, because then you're really allowing a lot of different energies coming in, and there's always an energy exchange. So you can provide healing for these situations by joining in with that. Oh, I feel the pain there. And the thing is that you don't want to take it on, and you definitely don't want to take on multiple pain either. So this is why it's very important for everyone to be balanced. I'm not saying you can't experience the pain, but let's move past it. Let's move past it. And hi Diana, welcome everyone that's coming in. Good to see y'all. So it's, you can ask questions, by the way, those of you who are joining in. If you have a question, I'll pull a card for you. I'd be happy to pull a card for you. All right. So saying that, so we can all feel, we can have empathy for what happens. And okay, I feel like I have to do something. And there's people who do that. There's the emergency responders. There's people who volunteer to go and help disaster relief. They go in, and that's wonderful. And not everyone can do that. But what we can do is that we can just sit down, connect with the earth, and feed love through the earth, and even to the location, to the people. Just please, when you're sending love and light in places to people, don't forget how that is being sent through the earth's grid, where all living beings are connected with this earth's grid, on this grid. So we have to include nature. We have to include everything. And yes, there's a lot of devastation, and I'm going to get really into this, and it can make some people upset. It can, I'm going to get really into the deep part of a conversation, like I said, that my sister and I had earlier. She couldn't understand. Why is this happening? I want it to stop. Why is this happening to people? Why are these natural disasters still happening? Well, Mother Earth is a living being. She is ascended from 3D to 5D, and we are all following. If you want to, there's choices. Those that don't want to move to 5D, or they feel like their time is done here on this earth plane, they're leaving. Notice last year, notice the last couple of years, there's waves of people just leaving. It doesn't mean that they're not high vibrational. It just means they're done with this particular phase of work that they needed to do. All right. And so there's going to be some of us who know that we need to stay and that we need to see it get to that peaceful state. So, and it's fine. No judgment. It's very important at this time not to have any judgment. You can observe, but don't judge, and there is a difference. So, karma, of course, nature does, karma works for nature. Let me say it that way. So, and it does help to clear out. Again, those that want to leave, all right, those that feel like they're done. And there's always a balance in these disasters, know that. What do I mean by there's a balance? There's a balance of energies that leave this earth plane. There's always that beautiful balance, okay? So we're going to have people who volunteer to leave to keep the balance of how many bad are leaving, how many good are leaving. It's kind of like trying to keep the airplane balanced or the boat balanced, right? Because if we have a sudden shift of just so many bad people leaving with no good to keep it balanced, that's going to create a disaster like we've never seen. All right. So everything, the energies coming on this earth plane, leaving on this earth plane, is always coming and going and is always balanced. And a good example of this is a hospital. There's always energy coming in and out of hospitals. And we feel that that's probably why a lot of us don't like that, because it is like a portal. It's very much energetic coming and going type of thing. All right. So, but again, my sister had a hard time. So karma takes innocent people too. And it's not a taking, it's not a okay, because it sounds like it's a judgment, here it is. You've done wrong. So now you're going to be punished. We're not being punished. We've all done wrong. Let's just admit that. There's different, variations of wrong and of bad. That's what resides in the dark side of us, in the darkness. And we've talked about this, the yin and yang symbol. It's not about separation. It's about unity. There's good and bad in every living being. Us on this earth plane, we're the ones decide to try to separate it. We're the ones that try to, let's have these opposites. Let's really just try to divide that. What energetically cannot be and will not be divided. All right? So not for very long. We've tried to create this exterior reality, but look how it's working out for us. Not very well, right? All right. So my sister was trying to understand, and I told her, please stop watching the news, and that karma is a teacher. Anyway, all our experiences and karma is a teacher. What do we learn from it? What do we learn from that? Let me get some water here. What do we learn from our experiences? All right. Maybe you can relate, again, this is part of empathy. Maybe you can relate to situations that have happened and that has, and you remember how you felt when you were in it. And nothing to the scale of what people in Texas are going through, or anyone who's been through a hurricane. We lived all up and down this coast and have been in a lot of hurricane areas and territories, and have always seemed to been, and I don't like to use the terms like spared, but it didn't, okay, good, we just weren't in range, or back away, or turn off, or whatever. But I have had flooding experience. I know what that feels like. wow, when we just moved to Connecticut, and I moved into our home, and my husband was active military. So he was only able to be home for 6 weeks, and then he's out to sea. And my sons and I were, okay, let's unpack, let's finish setting up the house. And coming from the South, we don't have basements down there. Not a lot of basements can be found, right? So close to the water. So we had basement, and 3 months after being in the house, our basement flooded. Never experienced that, but it's a devastation because we just moved in and we still had a lot of stuff that we haven't unpacked yet. A lot of our possessions in the basement were destroyed. And having to take everything out of the basement, having it dry out, kind of just, okay, what's salvageable, what's not. And those who've been in floodings like that, the water has that stench. It has that smell. And that alone, you can never really get out of anything. You'll smell it. Some of the things that we were trying to salvage, we kept smelling it even, months, years later. And it's like, oh, it's just not going away. Let's just get rid of it. And, it was kind of heartbreaking a little bit. It was like, oh my gosh. And I could get into the moment. I fell into that moment. Well, who are you going to blame? Who you get mad at? See, this always happens when my husband's out to sea or when my husband's gone. Or we would blame these gremlins that would always come and mess with the wives when their husband leaves, right? And have something happen, tinker with the cars, tinker with anything electrical or electronic, or, have something like that happen to your home. So I was like, I am not going to blame anyone else. I'm not going to get upset. It just happened. Okay, and I'm trying to stay grounded. But many of you have had kids and understand too, and they are like, oh my gosh, this is destroyed. And it's like, it's okay. It's a material item. It's all right. Let's just, and how's that working? You're thinking, okay, I'm doing all right. I'm doing good. And then you find that box of, yes, now we've been in this house for over 12 years. So I'm going to go back with DVDs, right? I'm sorry, not DVDs, but VHS tapes. And our wedding tape was in there and it's destroyed. And I'm like, nope, I'm still going to hold on. I'm going to be balanced. I'm not going to freak out. It's like, oh, whatever. I was like, we have it here. No one can ever take that away. But it's just, we really do feel challenged, don't we? And looking back at it now, it's like all those things we've moved on. We obviously can live without them, right? And they're just material items. And what did I learn from all of that too? Is because I've always practiced the connection with the earth, connection with nature, connection with all beings. Welcome, Wendy. Yes, you saw a snapping turtle today on your bike ride. So look, there you go. The power animal of the week. You saw the snapping turtle. Beautiful, beautiful. I'll back up here just really quick and let you know that the attributes of the turtle is connection with the earth, navigation skills, patience, tenacity, and developing and planting and manifesting new ideas and just new beginnings. So think about through disasters, though, there's always a birth. And whether we think it's a death, there's always a birth or a rebirth. Our universe, our earth, everything is all connected and energy moves like this naturally. It's constantly going through this change. And why do we, as human beings, want to freeze it and make things stop? And just, this is a happy moment. Let's just freeze it. I wish it could last forever. Well, won't that happy moment soon will not be so very happy if you stay in it so long that you kind of, really become misguided. how can you appreciate happiness anymore if it's always there? So you have to have these other things to challenge that happiness, to appreciate that happiness, right? At least that's the earth plane experience. So anyway, when our basement had flooded, and we lost those possessions, those items, it was a rebirth. It was, we're getting rid of this. We actually purged, and we got rid of things that we didn't realize that we didn't need. And very few did we replace. Of the things that were ruined did we replace, because you know what? We really just didn't need it anyway. But we have, sometimes you can have this hoarding mentality, and we have to let that go. And what makes us do that? Do we feel like our life is out of control, or we really don't have control of life? And so if we can hold on to something, we're in control of that. We're in control of what we allow in our home, right? Well, let's replace control with command, because it's much higher. It's a higher vibrational command. And it taught me with the basement flooding, that these material items, whatever, let it go. Even if they were from, oh, wow, years ago, and who cares, let it go. And to how I really came across this was when someone had mentioned to me, because I joined like a spiritualist church, and always getting into a new community. I was trying to find my spiritual community, my spiritual network. And so someone was like, have you ever heard of dowsing in water? And you've got to connect with your new home and your land. Make sure you're connecting with the land. Find out where the water line is, and maybe move the water line. And I'm like, move the water line? I thought the person was cuckoo. I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, you can actually ask if there is a stream of water. If the way the water runs, if it's running under your house, you can actually ask it through love, through a command, to move over so many feet. So I was like, oh, I'm going to take this to my angels, to my guides, and sit out with nature a little bit and think about this. And all right, dowsing, huh? I've always had pendulums and love them, and that is dowsing. That's a form of the divination. So I was like, let me use my pendulum and find out where the water runs. You can use that for that. You can use the dowsing rod. You can use pendulums. And so I did, on a property, find out where it was running underneath. And I was like, well, darn, look at that. Check it out. It is right in the spot where it was coming in the basement. I was like, all right, well, I'm going to try this. And it's not a demand, not a demand. Demand is like with control. You're demanding it. A command is something that is out of love and where everyone benefits from it. All right, it's keeping the balance. It's keeping the peace. So sitting, outside and having this conversation with nature, and all right, so without creating disharmony, would it be okay? I'm just getting the feel for, is it okay if it moves over just a little bit? Could it move over, a foot or two? Would that be all right? And just sitting there with love, and I was like, as long as there's harm to no one in doing this, I would be grateful for that. And just sitting with that energy exchange and that love. And it did work. It absolutely did work. It did move over. And I could even tell because things grew in that path, like plants and the grass, and everything was better and more bountiful than before. So it really did work. It really does work, and I'm grateful every time I go out there. And every morning, well, I have animals, so when you have dogs, you've got to go outside. So when I take my dogs outside, and I will either be barefooted or I have flip-flops on where I can just, little yard shoes, I'll kick them off and I put my feet in the grass, and I'm so grateful for the connection to it all, the connection to all living beings. All right. And most definitely nature. If we lived harmoniously with nature, and this is a conversation I was having with my sister earlier, then these things would not happen. Because if we lived harmoniously with nature, we live harmoniously and in balance with each other, and then there wouldn't be a need to have these disasters, so to speak, because we would know how to keep the earth in a balanced state. Not only ourselves in a balanced state, but earth in a balanced state. We could help her. And so how do we do that now? And I know I repeat this a lot, but maybe sometimes it'll sink in. But, as above, so below, as below, so above, as within, so without, as without, so within. So whatever we create within us, that's where it starts first, inside us, and manifest and project it outwards. All right. So if we create peace and balance within ourselves, that is very contagious. And we spread that outside of us, then there you go. That's how we do this. This is how we can help everyone. And let them go through their grieving process. Everyone that goes through things, let them go through grieving. Let them go through what they need to go through. And then just keep sending the love and the light. And I'm talking about, when I say love, we humanize everything that's divine and high vibrational. I'm talking about that high vibrational energy. Push that love out, and just, it's there for anyone that wants to take it and accept it. Have you ever just been sitting there, maybe you have had a bad moment, and then suddenly you just have this wave of, whether it's silliness or suddenly you're happy, and yes, it can most definitely be our loved ones, our guides and angels giving us a kiss or giving us this happy dose, this dose of happiness. And it could also be too that healers and those that send out that type of love on a daily basis, you're getting some of that as well. So it really is powerful. We're so used to seeing things with our own eyes and then doing with our hands, and that if we're not doing that, then it's not real and it's not working. But that's not true. And when you are working with nature, you get so many signs, and it's really beautiful. And just a couple of days ago, when feeling maybe the buildup with this hurricane, and how does the hurricane affect you, even though it doesn't come near you or you don't live in that area? Again, we feel it, and it creates that emotional, energetic hurricane within you. What are we tossing around? Old ideas, old things, whatever's not working for us, we need to get rid of it. Let it go, expel, get rid of it. And so a couple of days ago, I was doing that. I was re-examining how full my plate is. Am I on the right path? We always do that, don't we? We always want to check. And there's nothing wrong with checking if you're on the right path. Am I on the right path? Let's do a check. It's okay. And so then immediately, we live near the water, so the kind of birds, of course, we get all the little birds, the sparrows, and then we get some chickadees. There's just beautiful, the little birds, lots of crows and ravens around here, and then we get the seagulls. So, and they always, this window behind me, the neighbor has a barn, and there's a peak. And sometimes from the reflection of my computer, I'll see, well, now you can't see it because it's nighttime, but during the day, I will see when birds land up there and they start talking to me. The seagulls will do it. The ravens and the crows will sit there and start calling at me. And it's like, right when I'm asking a question to my angels and guides, right when I need some insight, they show up. Well, I was having one of those moments of asking my angelic committee some questions of, okay, let's do another check here. And two turkey vultures I haven't ever seen. And don't laugh at me. I haven't ever seen in person a turkey vulture like that. And because what I first saw was one of them landing in the wingspan, and the wings were phenomenal. I mean, just gorgeous. I'm like, whoa, what is that? And to see that there was two, and I'm like, oh, this is, wow. I know there's a message for me here. I know that's for me. Not, oh, okay. Being selfish with that, but just you got to learn to recognize we're asking questions. We're going to get the answers. Sometimes it's immediate. Sometimes we need to go on a bike ride, or we need to get out in nature and explore that answer, because it does come. The nature's very responsive with questions that you have. This is how the angels and our guides communicate with us as well. So I was like, all right. So I grabbed my Ted Andrews animal book, and I'm looking up the turkey vultures, and it was right on. Elimination was the message for me. And that was so spot on, validated. And it was like, oh, that feels great. You don't need someone else's advice. Sometimes we do that. We go to other beings, other humans who may not understand what we're going through, may not understand you. But let me tell you, when you take your questions to your angels, to your angelic committee, to your guides, to nature, they're always spot on with their answer if you're paying attention. You got to pay attention to it. It gives us exactly what we need. It's so comforting to me. And it's like I have to get outside and have that connection every day. I don't think I would do well if I couldn't enjoy nature or be outside every day. Even if it's just for a few minutes, but you have to get outside every day and have that connection, replug, re-energize. All right, so again, I just want to let everyone know thank you, because a lot of people are watching. But if you do have a question, I can pull a card for you. I'd be happy to answer your question here for you. We've got about 12 minutes left, or until I say finish. So if you want me to stay on a little longer and ask questions, that's fine. But you just have to type your question into the comments. And of course, my website is whitesagewoman.com. And let me just put that on there. Is the website, for those who don't know, and who's going to probably watch this in archives. This stays on the page, whitesagewoman.com. You can find me there and message me there. Check out my website. So much things to check out. Oh, and I do want to say too, Goldylocks Productions just celebrated 2-year anniversary. And so season 3 begins September 4th, Monday, September 4th. So really excited about that. And you should really check out, if you haven't checked out Goldylocks Productions, and I should put that one on there too, that website, then please check out Goldylocks Productions. Check out all the shows. We have wonderful show producers, show hosts. Sorry, I'm the show producer. We have wonderful show hosts, and their shows are phenomenal, and their messages are just beautiful and just what we need right at this time. And they have a new show starting up September 4th. What a way to start season 3 off. We have a new show starting, and then another one that's planned for October. So it's just keeps growing, and that's beautiful. It's a place where everyone can come together. It's a safe place to share, grow, and expand together. All right, expand spiritually. So, all right, Diana, what kind of questions can we ask? What you can ask a question about if you need whatever you need insight on. Just try to keep it direct and focused. Not a general, not vague, but because of the format that we're using right now. If we were having a personal session, that's different. But just trying to make sure if you're going to leave a question in the comment that it's kind of a direct and right on point what you would like to have some specific insight on. Okay? So I hope that helps. I hope I answered that. All right. So as long as we understand that karma, it works for the universe, it's a balancing. It's balancing. And believe it or not, it's not like this Grim Reaper that comes around and, like, again, judging you. Believe it or not, a lot of us, even the bad people that come in, we need them. This is how we learn. And they might be bad in this life, but they come in the next life and be good. That's how they balance out their experiences. But what's happening now is, as we are ascending, we are pulling away from karma and going to dharma. What does that mean? That means above karma. Once we all settle into the 5D, the karma won't be there anymore, because we won't need it. Because we'll all be in such a higher vibration that it's just, we won't be questioning the balancing anymore. It'll just be a part of who we are. We can just be. So anyway, and that may seem hard to understand. When our minds hear that, it's like, what kind of sci-fi jibber jabber is that? Because the mind doesn't understand. Well, think about this. Your mind is only as old as your physical body. So if your physical body hasn't experienced peace and complete balance and harmony, it's not going to have anything to relate to, is it? No. But what is as old as you are? Your soul. Does that say the sacred heart center? Some people say it's mind, body, spirit, and soul, or mind, body, soul, and spirituality, or spirit. Yes, spirit. I combine the three. I combine them down to three: mind, body, and soul. And your soul resides in the sacred heart center in the middle of your chest. And that is when your heart and your mind is balanced. Pop! That's an awakened third eye. That is the supermind that scientists talk about. But they try to give too much credit to just the mind. Really, my mind's not as old as my soul. So I want to take everything through this soul, on the soul level. So, all right, let me answer the question. So, Diana, I would like to know, is my communications with my guides improving? Oh, immediately I hear yes. Now, we all do this, okay? We all can get in our own way. If we're upset about something, if we get too impatient and we want an answer immediately, and if we keep asking the same thing over and over and over, our guides, if you're going to be repetitious, please don't go over 3. Once you go over the 3rd time, especially in the same day, you're not going to get anything, because you're an emotional wreck and you're not going to hear the answer anyway. So you need to calm down, regroup, back up, and then ask when you can most definitely receive your message. Again, like I said, there's always messages around, but let me pull a specific card too. This is what I'm getting, and I like to see what kind of cards pulled too, because it kind of like always like validates something too. So the divine names of power. I'm using the Isis Oracle because I love. Oops, trying not to get a glare there. Oh, there we go. Cartouche, the sacred name of power. All right, I know what that. I'm just refreshing. It's probably going to validate everything that I just said about just trusting. And we have to listen. We have to listen to the answer. And there's a lot of times, though, if we get too upset, I've got to know the answer right away. But we really do have to step aside. I don't want to say like kind of fool ourselves, but if we don't think about something, it does come to us. So it's so the divine names of power is our mantra sounds and names of the divine. So this is what helps bring you to that state of communicating with your guides and angels more effectively. Is through, right? The mantras, the sounds, and the names of the divine. We have to be calm. And whatever you can do to, it's not bring us down really, it's to bring us into the upper vibrations. And sound is very powerful. Sound helps to calm the mind from spinning. You can start humming a song. You can just start going through mantras. Take deep breaths. Whatever helps you to hear effectively. So, yes, Diana, your communication with your guides is improving. Just make sure that you continue to take that time on a daily basis to listen to their messages, because you have a lot still going on in your life, and but you're on the right path. Okay, you're on the right path, and just don't. And I'm just gonna be honest with what I'm hearing here. I'm not gonna sugarcoat or fluff anything. Don't be revengeful. That's a reaction of you being upset. But I know that's not who you really are as a beautiful being. Don't react so quick to something. All right, sit back, make sure you're getting the whole truth about whatever you're going to hear. And whatever, just please don't be revengeful. You are, you don't want to take steps back from the progress that you have made. So, and yes, those that have created this false sense of being around themselves, those who have wronged you, those who are trying to cause you pain, know that they're in pain and that they will have to answer to their actions. All right, they will have to balance it out. All right, and take those actions. But don't stoop to anyone's level if they try to do something that's not very good. All right, so just keep that in mind. You have, because I feel like it's like you're really, really good, then you hear something and it's like, and it can create this block. So try not to let anyone pull you down. All right. Okay, you're welcome, sweetie. Yeah. But it's so easy like that, isn't it? It seems like sometimes we want an answer and then we hear something, or it could just be someone tells you something that's upsetting, and we react, and we just react, and it spins us out of control. It spins us, and then we really get off track to where we can't hear. Then we're trying to listen, but then someone else comes in with something else, and it's like, oh! And then that shuts down what we were trying to communicate with, because we want to take care of this issue over here that's just totally pissed us off, and it's like, That's all challenging, isn't it? It's like, really, you messed up my Zen. Leave me alone. But it happens, and it can be our own families that do this to us too. It can be friends. It could just be that inappropriate phone call, that inappropriate text that I'm trying to connect. I'm trying to listen for a question I asked, and then you read something that's like, what? That can take us off track, get us upset, spun up, whatever. Don't feed into that drama. And it's not your barrel of monkeys, right? Not right now. It's not my barrel of monkeys. No. I'm not going to take care of it right now. I'm just going to be calm. Be calm. Be calm. And that's very important for now, because we have all these energies that can going around that can just spin us up. And we are supposed to be purging energies that no longer serve us. We're getting rid of it. We really, really are. So I asked for a message from the angels, from ascended masters, from the angels, and asked what message that we needed to hear, and I was saving it for the end. When I say you, it's we. All right, we. We are being saturated with the energy of spirit, upgrading and expanding our DNA. All right, and the consciousness. So our DNA and consciousness is expanding. Follow the universal flow, not the human drama flow, but let's follow that universal flow as we have moved from the space of I am to the space of we are. Isn't that beautiful? So we have progressed from me, me, who I think I am, and I don't know who I am, we didn't come with instruction manuals, to now we're going to meditate, we're going to spiritually awaken, now we're to the I am. Now we are. We are one. We are. Right? So that's beautiful. The angels are validating. These ascended masters, we have so many beautiful high vibrational beings that are cheering us on, because we have reached a beautiful threshold that is going to be very, very successful for us going back towards peace. All right, so I'm just reading a message here. That's right, it does. Those who've had the fake person take a long time to change. Yes, and that's exactly, Diana. There's yeah, exactly. That fakeness, Are these upgrades why I feel so drained, Linda? Yes, absolutely. Linda, also too, of your eating habits. Watch your eating is changing. What you want to eat. Drink lots of water. Lemon, because they're feeling nauseated too. One of my things is I feel nauseated. I feel drained and I feel nauseated, and it's like, ugh. So if you can handle ginger, because ginger's very strong, add some ginger to your food. Have some hot ginger tea. You can steep some ginger in with your tea. And yeah, the upgrades can be very draining. But for a couple days, and then you'll have a day to where it's like, oh my gosh, I have all this energy. I can paint the whole house. I mean, really, it just, there's no consistency. We really feel like we're in this spiral, don't we? And so we just have to be gentle. And as I say, go with this universal flow. Just go with it. You almost have to, another analogy is get your surfboard and let's start surfing with these energies, because you can feel like it's a huge wave that's just going to knock you down. If you need to take a nap, go take a nap. As long as it's not one thing too long. That's how you can know when it's something physical. Now, and we can bring things, if we don't take care of our stuff spiritually, it moves into our aura, and then it moves into finally our body. If we don't take care of it, we don't listen to all the warning signs. But that's usually a very, I want to say, rhythmic type of symptoms or illness, or it's very consistent, so to speak. These types of energies that's coming in are not consistent. Like I said, it's crazy, it's wacky and wonky, and it's like, different things at different times. I can feel like one day I want to pull my skin off because it itches so bad. Like my skin is having a sensitivity to everything. Then it's like I can't drink enough water. So put some lemon in your water, all right, and see what, and I don't know why, but I'm just going to give the messages that they're saying, because even they told me that too. When I get some lemons, careful where you get your lemons from. Don't refrigerate them and eat them quickly, So you're going to have like a bowl of lemons, and every day cut up a lemon and drink, put it in your water, put it in your tea, put it in your drink, and consume that. Drink it. And it has helped me with the nausea between the ginger in the food and hot tea and then the lemon, and it's really helping. You may find that you're burping a lot. That's feeling that excess energy, and you'll burp. Okay, so it's different for everybody. People can have random pains too, muscle cramping, and it's I could drink a lot of water, but it's, sometimes I'll wake up with a muscle cramp, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I just drink a lot of water. I shouldn't be having this muscle cramp. What am I doing in my sleep? Am I running a marathon? But we're having work done to us even while we sleep. The DNA upgrades, all of these energy shifts and changes. It's good stuff. It really is. It's just the first time in a very long time history for all of us that our bodies are going through these types of changes. All right. So it's very important. I'm not saying don't go to a doctor if you really feel something's wrong. Get that intuition, listen to your body, have a communication with your body. Your body will talk to you. Do I need to go to the doctor? I will do that. But if you're one that runs to the doctor over every little sniffle, every little symptom, you're going to have a hard time, because the doctors can't diagnose all of this. They don't understand. And I want you to please stop and think about this for a minute. And again, I'm not telling you not to go to the doctor. I just want you to be careful that the books, medical books, go back how long? 1700s, 1800s? For a 3D body. As we are ascending now, how are they going to treat that? It's not up to them to treat it. It's up to us. That's part of the self-healing. That's part of the DNA upgrade. And I want to use caution here when I say that. Please don't take that wrong. Please don't say, oh, well, I don't have to go to the doctor anymore. That's not true. What I'm saying is, when you are taking care of yourself, mind, body, and soul, and are balanced, you do not need the conventional methods. All right? And so be careful. That's all I'm saying. All right. So, well, thank you, everyone, for joining in. And if you have any questions, please message me. Look me up. I'm on Facebook. Where I am. Yeah. So, but hi, Anthony. How you doing, sweetie? Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow, has an awesome radio show on Thursdays, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific Time. The Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. You must check him out. He is an amazing medicine man, shaman, spiritual teacher. You have got to check out his show too. And he goes to the chakras, chakra scanning. And so we can tell you the importance of how much it is to be into balance now. All right. So thank you, everyone. Thank you. Oh, thanks. Thanks for the feedback. That's always good. Blessings to each and every one of you. Blessings to you too, dear sister Linda. And thank you all so much. And we're going to get through this together. Together. Remember, we are transcending from the I ams to we are. So I changed my mantras in the morning time of I am. And what I do is when I light incense or when I light candle, I call it my candle and incense lighting. I have like a little ceremony every morning. Every candle I light, and I have a lot of candles, and the incense that I burn, I always say, like, okay, I am love. I am. I am an instrument of peace. I am. I am. I'm a master teacher of myself to help others. I am. I'm a clear channel. I am. You get the idea. I go through, I am expanding consciously. I am. Well, when I got the message from the angelic realm that we are moving from the space of I am to we are, that was profound. Of course, we are one. We are. So now I'll still say I am, and then we are. We are. Or we be, exactly, because being is that's it. We be. We're one. We are one. And it's that whole bringing us back into alignment of the consciousness of one. All right. And don't let that scare you. People think you lose your identity. You lose your characteristics. And I can tell you, in talking to loved ones in spirit, they have their same sense of humor. They have their character. They have their identity, so to speak. But they know who they truly are now. That piece of the divine puzzle. And it's beautiful. Very, very beautiful. So, fit your puzzle piece into that divine puzzle. And until next week, next Sunday is my new show time. Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you all for sitting in Sacred Circle with me this evening. Again, whether it's live or it is in archives, it doesn't matter. We have all created sacred space for each other. And as we are giving healing, we're receiving it. It's just a beautiful exchange. So may the obstacles to your flight be few and the blessings along your journey be many. Namaste, everyone.